Hello YouTube, the Eye of Stone here, and welcome to the inaugural video of my Let's Play of Thief Gold, in which we're going to be doing a full examination of Little Big World, the hidden area of Constantine's mansion, which you can access in the Thief Gold version of the mission, The Sword. I have done some stuff at this area of the Thief universe before, but this time we're going to give the area itself a more full treatment, and we're going to see if some of my earlier shenanigans can A, be duplicated, and B, be improved upon. Also, we're going to do a shout out in this video, and that shout out is for the Thief Wiki, which you can see the link on the screen right now. If you're a Thief fan, or someone who is interested in how fandoms go about coming up with comprehensive, thorough, and highly detailed references for their respective universes, I seriously recommend you check this website out. Little bit of a teaser here today. I have something big coming, something that I haven't done with the Eye of Stone before. It's not ready yet, and don't hold your breath just yet. It will get here. It's going to be a while, but let me put it to you this way. I would really be up creek on this project in terms of getting what I need to get if it weren't for the Thief Wiki. So thank you, Thief Wiki, and we're going to jump right in to Little Big World. Here we go. Okay, so this is where you get to it. This is Constantine's garden. The hidden switch. You jump into the water. Now it's very important to not dive under until you're right up against this wall, because this is a dangerous dive. It's possible to run out of air and take damage as you go through here, because it's slow going. You can see that it's sort of pushing me against this wall here. There is a current, and if you can swim with that current, you can just make it out of here in time. But you know, you have to. There's like a hidden current in it that you have to find. I guess that's Stonehenge or something. Those trees didn't look weird until you see that Stonehenge. Alright, I'm just gonna take this guy down. We're here to see the sights. Huh. I'm surprised that worked. That shouldn't have worked. I should have had a fight on my hands. Oh well, we'll go with it. What's up here? It is rather eerie, isn't it? The scale is about to change. Okay, so jump over this. pipe. That's supposed to be a gold ring, I think. Ring that fell down the drain. Drain of this giant wash basin. A friend of mine who's real good with Drum Ed once told me that actually the only thief level, among the OMs anyway, the only thief level that's bigger than this one is Sabotage and Soulforge. That otherwise the Thief Gold version of the sword is the biggest. So the way this works is you're supposed to climb. And it honestly isn't as bad as it looks, because there's stuff to be found on all these shelves. So they want you to climb. These are like dishes or something on this shelf. Now, I'll go ahead and make this point now so I don't have to later on in this video. The physics of the rope arrows in Thief it's very unique. Kind of unpredictable. But again, the unpredictability only adds possibilities. And you can use that to do things which would basically be impossible in real life. I mean, duh, because it's a computer game. But you can find some very serviceable exploits with the rope arrows. Jumping also can be practiced. So that's fireplace and the couch with the table in front of it. This room, this yawning abyss of a room, is like a vacation cabin for the trickster, I think. Okay, so we're gonna go up onto these two shelves, and in this part of in this area, it's all about aim high. Just aim high, and you can send a rope arrow basically wherever you want it to. There are some arrows that arc as they go, and there are arrows which go in a straight line. My aged mind can't quite remember, but I believe it's Thief 2, where if you launch an arrow up at the skybox, it can come back down again. Certain arrows will do that, others won't. I don't know if that happens in Thief Gold and Thief the Dark Project, or just in Thief 2, or what the detail is. But again, the point is that the physics of the arrows and rope arrows, there's as much Drum Ed, awesome spookiness, let's call it, in the arrows and in the rope arrows as there is in any other aspect of it. Like, for example, right now, that middle arrow, that arrow on the side, didn't want to let me mount it, whereas the middle arrow did. So opposite a drop like that, you notice I put 3 up there for just that reason. Okay, this is like a pin cushion, and this is a spool of thread. It does have theoretically a rope hanging from it, but it didn't want to let me mount it either, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump across. These non-standard objects can be a little difficult to interface with. Just go for it. This right here is a matchbox. It's a box of matches. But matches the size are fire arrows, if we can get inside. If you rush, that's when you'll go over the side. Here we go. When you rush is when you go sailing over the edge. You just gotta stay cool. Now, you cannot grab the couch if you jump from here. It's too far. But you can go into the tub on the floor, which is what we're gonna do now. Now, there's a guard. There's a real-life guard on that table there. There's several of them walking around here. Arrows. Now, be careful because there's a guard on foot patrol around here. There he is. Again, this is not a ghosting run. This is a excursion to Little Big World National Park. Pretty sure this fire would melt Garrett, but it's cool to look at. Alright. Now we want to get onto the table because we want to get onto the couch. There's stuff on the table and there's stuff in the couch. Your headache. Moss arrows on the cheese. And go. There's a dice down in there. It's 1 dice. We're passing a giant Dorito on the right, and oh look, some loot. It weighs 10 tons by our standards, but we can still make off with it. Yeah, I got stuck on that brush there for a second. I thought, for a second there, it's like, am I going to have to reload? Didn't last long, but I was stuck but good there for a second. Okay. We're going to get off this couch, and then we're going to have a look-see at that door straight ahead. Now, I think that today we are going to skip getting up on the ceiling in this room, because we're going to get up on the ceiling and go across the ceiling in the next room. So I think we're going to skip that in this room. But let's definitely go check out the door. So you, whoever you are, if you play Thief, you can get to the top of this door and back down again safely. It's not that difficult. You just create a straight line of rope arrows going up. Leave a little bit of overlap. Try to keep them parallel to each other. Try to keep your line straight. And you see the doorknob up there. You want to make sure that the last arrow you shoot goes above it, roughly, so that you can get some clearance above it, because you're going to jump to the side. So you don't want to be jumping up. You either want to jump straight flush with it, or you want to jump slightly from an elevated position, and so you can grab hold. You don't want to be going against gravity in this situation. And you notice how I'm going from one rope arrow to the next. The way I'm able to do that is by there's no crosshairs in Thief, but you have to pick the angle of where you're facing very carefully when you jump. If Garrett is looking too much at the door, you're going to go straight ahead and bounce, and you're going to die. If you're looking too high, you're not going to... It's kind of a matter of guesstimating the angle that Garrett is going to lunge from one rope arrow to the next. And it's a weird situation because you're going against gravity here. There is a perfectly serviceable stand-in for gravity in Thief games. I'm not going to say that it behaves exactly the same way as real gravity does, but it's close. See, mounting these arrows can sometimes be tricky, and you can be at the wrong angle to mount them. Rope arrows can be weird anyways. I'm not liking the way that all feels, so here's what. We just do something different, see if that works. That all gave me a bad feeling. Now, it sometimes is true that it can just be as simple as starting all over again, and the extra arrow may well have not actually done anything, but again, if you get frustrated up here, you're dead. So now, from the doorknob, you could have looked straight up and shot a rope arrow into the ceiling, and then jumped from here, right where we are, and grabbed that rope, that last inch of the rope arrow, and then pulled yourself up to the ceiling. I've done it. I have a video. I think it's Thief Extreme Door Climbing Part 2. It is possible to get up on the ceiling from here, but what I want to talk about instead is how I'm coming back down these ropes. Okay, so what you do is you mount a rope arrow, and then you look up for as long as the rope, the arrow that the rope you're on stays highlighted. At the last moment when you can still highlight it, you yank it, and then as you hit the top of the next rope arrow, you just press W. Just a tap on W, and you should be able to mount the arrow from directly above. See? And you can use that technique to climb back down the door. I hope I explained that. It's like if you had started all the way from the top, you would just get as far away from the rope, the arrow for the rope you're on, yank it, and then look down quickly and press W when you hit the arrow that the next rope is on. And that'll slow you down / allow you to mount the subsequent lengths of rope and the arrows associated with them, so you can more or less use it like a ladder. I hope that's clear. We can sort it out in the questions if it isn't. Technique works pretty reliably, I've found. Warehouse of a desk. Okay, so here we can step it up a bit. From this door we actually can get up onto the ceiling. We can do all kinds of things from up here. And we're gonna. Again, just a straight line going up. I guess that's good enough. Again, how Garrett's facing when you're going up these rope arrows is critical, because when you jump, you know, to go between these lengths of rope arrows, you're jumping. And aiming that jump in this wacky vertical situation is extremely important. Okay, we're gonna get over to the desk and have a look-see there too. Now that letter on the desk is readable, and there's some water arrows. So again, the devs want you to get up onto that desk. This is, you know, this crazy stuff with rope arrows is how you see this area of the level. Now, I don't know that they exactly meant for you to be up here because there isn't any texture. That candle hanging from the ceiling there might be one or two solid surfaces in it, but you can't get over to it and hang out on it. There aren't enough solid surfaces. I don't actually remember if there are any solid surfaces on it. Again, a drum ed buddy of mine, I think, had told me there's one or two solid surfaces that you could like clang a sword against, but most of the surfaces there are not material, and if we try to land on that thing, you'll sail right through it. At least that's what's happened the times I've tried. Maybe, who knows, there's some tiny micro ledge that you were able to find. If you've found it, I'd love to see it. Okay. Now, for whatever reason, let's get the water arrows. For whatever reason, Fraps is on my machine, my ancient vintage gaming machine that I run these games on. Fraps does not like showing the readings. Basically, what this reading says is Constantine is kind of annoyed that his guards. I reloaded. Let's. We've seen that. Constantine was basically annoyed that his guards keep coming into this place and getting lost, but he wasn't going to do anything about it. He's basically being a god, basically being Constantine. So I quick loaded us back up here to the top of the door, and we were able to grab a hold of the desk properly. Let's try the chair. So you see here, you absolutely can get up on this ceiling. Again, it's not that hard. And dropping jumps can be a little bit interesting sometimes. You just gotta pick. You get one chance to pick your angle properly in these situations, like so. The big danger is that you'll kill yourself ricocheting, or you'll mostly kill yourself ricocheting, and then you'll die when you hit the ground. But usually a ricochet like this onto this chair would probably kill you. And I'm going to jump here, and notice how once I go out sailing, I level up parallel with the wall as much as I can, as though I were not jumping, as though I were just as though I had just walked up to it. You can't really grab hold at something of a ledge if your angle is too aggressive. There's some leeway. You don't have to be exactly parallel, but the tolerances aren't great. Like if you're flying through the air, you have to make sure to get yourself squared up on the tee pretty carefully. Now we're not going to be able to recover that rope arrow and still fall safely, so I'm going to leave it there. But let's quick load back up to the top here, and let's get over to this privacy barrier again and go across the ceiling. If you space them real careful, it's possible to do this in 2. I just go ahead and do 3 rope arrows. You want to jump up high, not so high that your head hits the wall, because if your head hits the ceiling, you'll go straight down and you're dead. But if you jump from too low, between these 3 rope arrows, you lose a lot of length, and if you jump from too low, you'll miss the other one. Okay, so that's a mouse trap down there. We're going to have a closer look at that later on. We'll get to it. It's a mouse trap with a human skeleton in it, you know. Real charming. Not terribly much to see up here, but it is an opportunity for I described this jump as being harder than the others because the parallelogram between here and the bed is much narrower, and this is less forgiving. This is you basically have to just barely manage to slip off this privacy barrier, because if you jump off of it, you'll just hit the bed. You basically have to barely go over the edge. The danger is that you will end up too far onto the bed, not far enough away, not too far away from it. And if you hit this bed, you will die. It might be soft, but it's not that soft. So, with these bed bugs. Now you can climb up on that headboard, but those conical wooden posts, you can launch a rope arrow into them, but rope arrows won't come down if you launch them onto those conical surfaces at the top. They'll come down a little, but not all the way, and there's nothing up there. Okay, so you can use rope arrows to get down safely. Again, when you're there, you go. Okay, this is a giant chest. So let's see what, if anything, is of interest in here. Makers and some more rope arrows, which is, if you come here, don't Don't blow all your rope arrows, because once you get here, you basically need... Well, I think you can get out of here with just one, once you've already arrived. I don't think... Once we go into the crawl space, I don't think you actually need more than one. But... don't find yourself without at least one rope arrow if you want to get out of here. Okay, the exit's this way, but let's have a look at this mousetrap first. Someone fell for it. A speed potion. Okay, now I shot a lot of rope arrows into that door, and I want to go get them back. They might be useful elsewhere in the level. It's a big fat commitment of theoretically mission critical resources. So let's not die while we do it, but let's get these back. The only way to get all of them is to go all the way to the top. Okay, just grab it, press W. Honestly, I don't know that pressing W even works. It is even actually necessary. It may not be. I do it because it seems to slow me down a bit as I hit the top of the rope arrow, so that's why I do it, but I don't know that it's actually critical. It certainly isn't hurting anything. Okay, now we have all our rope arrows back, and we are ready to get out of here. Quite the chest. Okay. In through the mouse hole. Garrett is a rat, never. That's... okay. So you have to go up. So you really only need one rope arrow to do this, but boy, you'd be up creek if you didn't have it. Although I've seen people do things with I've mentioned in other videos how there's a glitch in the physics engine, how if you keep moving in a straight line and you keep jumping Garrett, your speed actually continues to increase infinitely, apparently. So who knows who knows what could be done. Other Thief players have shown me some pretty incredible stuff over the years. Okay, we are as good as out of here. So this was our first video for Thief Gold. Next video on this playlist is going to be Thieves Guild. The next video you're going to see uploaded is going to be Thief Deadly Shadows Day 3 Part 2. I will see everybody then.